When Anaya first saw him, she had no idea that the 50-year-old man she thought was dangerous, arrogant, and lifeless would be the one she fell in love with, and how they ended up getting married. Stay tuned for the video. It was raining heavily. The city lights flickered and dimmed as if frightened by the thunder. The road was flooded, and a speeding bike brushed past her. Anaya slipped while trying to step back, and then someone grabbed her hand, a firm grip. She turned to him, startled. In front of her stood a 50-year-old man with deep eyes and a slight stroke of white beard. The rain was pouring down on him relentlessly, but his face showed no sign of distress. "You don't run on the road like that," he said in a low, firm voice. Anaya felt offended. "You didn't even have the manners to say thank you." He scolded her first. He jerked his hand away. "If I hadn't held your hand, you would have fallen into the drain by now." The man was quiet, but his words were absolutely true. Before Anaya could say anything, he turned and started walking away. Even Anaya herself couldn't understand why she was stopping him. He paused for a moment, and then Anaya saw his name on a badge in his coat pocket. Akshat Rawat, the city's most successful architect, known for his brusque demeanor. The next day, the college's final year team had to go to the city's top architect's office for a project. Anaya entered, and the moment she stepped into the room, she froze. The same man sat across the conference table, Akshat, with the same calm, sharp, and impressive face from last night, looked at her, but showed no recognition, no smile, no anger, just a deep, unfamiliar silence. But Anaya felt strange. Her heart raced. She didn't know why. During the meeting, Akshat's voice was stern. "There will be no mistakes on this project. Any mistake, and you're out of the team." Everyone else was terrified, but not Anaya. For the first time, Akshat looked deeply into her eyes. It was as if he were peering into her. Days passed. Akshat's stern demeanor seemed to soften, just for her. He would personally check Anaya's files, improve her designs, and explain things to her. One day, Anaya mustered up the courage to ask, "You're so quiet. Why is that?" Akshat smiled slightly, with great difficulty. People who have lost so much in life speak less. Anaya felt it for the first time. He was 50, but perhaps his heart was still searching for a place. She began to understand, and Akshat began to look at Anaya, as if she were the only window in his dark room. But the age difference seemed to stand as a wall. One evening, looking at Anaya bent over her desk, Akshat spoke. "Don't get trapped in a life like mine. Anaya, I'm much older than you." Anaya looked at him. There was a slight moisture in her eyes. "The heart doesn't love age," she said softly. "We love people, not numbers." Akshat seemed about to say something, but stopped. He was fighting his heart. He was fighting himself. But the fight wasn't easy anymore. One night the office was empty. It was raining again. Just like that day, Anaya was leaving with her file when suddenly the power went out and the entire hall went dark. She was frightened. "Is anyone here?" Akshat's voice called out. "It's me." He dispelled the darkness with the light of his mobile phone. Seeing the fear and confusion on Anaya's face, he stepped closer. She was scared. Anaya nodded. Akshat draped his jacket over her shoulders. He didn't touch her, just offered protection. "I'm here," he said. "I won't let anything happen." Anaya's eyes filled with tears. "Why do you do so much for me?" she spoke haltingly. Akshat was silent for a long time. Then, taking a deep breath, he said, "Because I shouldn't be allowed to feel what I'm feeling. But I can't stop myself." Anaya stepped forward. "You're not alone in this." For the first time, people spoke without walls, without fear, with only the truth. Some laughed, some taunted, but Akshat and Anaya didn't let go, because when someone holds your hand through a storm, Whether you're 20 or 50, that's the love that reaches your heart. The next day, as they arrived at the office, the atmosphere seemed to change. People were whispering, their gazes falling on them like arrows. Sheetal from the accounts desk said softly, "I heard something's going on between Sir and that new girl." Another laughed and said, "He's 50 years old. Is the girl crazy?" Anaya's heart sank. She felt extremely uncomfortable. But Akshat sat quietly, opening his files, as if it didn't matter to him. But it did matter to him. A lot. But he didn't show it. During lunch, Anaya went to his cabin. "Why don't you say anything? People are talking. I feel bad." Akshat looked up and looked at her. "Anaya, we both knew it was you. The day will come, but you can protect me." Akshat took a deep breath. "If I tell anyone, people will say even more. This battle must be won by keeping quiet." Anaya became angry. "Do you even care about me?" Pain flashed in Akshat's eyes for a moment, but he controlled himself. "I shouldn't fight your world. Anaya, you're still a child in front of me. You should focus on your career, not on any relationship." Hearing this, Anaya's eyes filled with tears. "You're using age as an excuse again," she said softly. "Love is no excuse, sir." She walked out without a word. Akshat's hands tightened on his file. His heart was screaming, "I don't want to lose you." But his tongue remained silent. In the days to come, Anaya began to distance herself from him. She spoke less in meetings. She avoided sitting with him. She wouldn't even look at him. Akshat watched her every moment, but couldn't say anything. One evening, there was a mistake in a project drawing. Akshat called her. "Anaya, I've drawn this line wrong," Anaya said coldly. "I'll fix it, sir." Akshat was devastated. One night, the office lights suddenly went out. Everyone on the team had left. Akshat was just going through the final files. Then, from downstairs, he heard a shout. "Sir, someone fell down the stairs." Akshat ran downstairs, his heart stopped. Anaya lay unconscious on the stairs. Her leg was twisted. Her hands were shaking. Her eyes were closed. Akshat knelt beside her. "Anaya, Anaya, open your eyes." He picked her up in his arms and carried her to his car immediately. It was raining, just like that night when he'd first met her. Her hands were shaking as she drove. There was fear in her eyes like he'd never faced before. "Please, say something." "Music," he kept muttering over and over. Anaya regained consciousness. She looked through her eyelids. Akshat was holding her hand. His eyes were watering. He was exhausted, broken, but he was there. "Why are you here?" Anaya asked in a whisper. Akshat tried to laugh. "Because if something happened to you, I would never forgive myself." Anaya placed her fingers on his hand. "So why were you pushing me away?" Akshat's eyes lowered. "I was afraid, not of people, not of this love. I was afraid of myself, my age, that I might not be able to keep you happy." Anaya gently held his fingers. "Sir, happiness doesn't come with age. Happiness comes from the heart, and your heart is the most beautiful heart in the world." Tears finally fell from Akshat's eyes. "I've fallen in love with you, Anaya. So much that I'm afraid of myself." Anaya smiled. "Don't be afraid, because I've already lost my heart to you." Akshat held her hand tightly. There was no barrier anymore. The next day when they left the hospital, people whispered again. They talked again. But this time, Akshat didn't let go of her hand. He said in front of everyone, "I will never let go of the hand of the one I love." Anaya smiled because for the first time Akshat had stood up for her against the world. After returning from the hospital, Anaya realized for the first time that life wouldn't be easy. As she stepped into the house, her mother's eyes were red. "Anaya, what are we hearing? You're associating yourself with that man. He's twice your age." Anaya was quiet, Sangeet. But her voice was firm. "Mother, age is just a number." Her father took a deep breath and said, "We won't listen to this nonsense. That man is using you. No." Anaya spoke loudly. "He's the most honest man in the world." Her mother was heartbroken. "People will laugh at you. They will make fun of us." Anaya's eyes filled with tears, but she held her head high. "If I have to give up my true love because of the world, then the world is of no use to me, she said. She locked herself in her room. She cried all night, but didn't change her mind. Meanwhile, Akshat's world also fell silent. Her younger brother Arvind, Sangeet, said angrily, "Brother, you're 50. The girl is 20. People will say you're ruining her life." Akshat sat quietly, but a storm was raging inside him. "I'm not ruining her. I'm loving her," he said softly. "You'll be broken." Akshat's eyes closed. The fear he'd been hiding resurfaced. But he remembered Anaya's eyes in the hospital. "I've already lost my heart to you." He took a deep breath and said, "If love is fearful, what's love?" The next morning, Anaya sat at the window. Her eyes were red, her heart heavy. Just then her phone rang. A name flashed on the screen. "Akshat, sir," she gasped. Akshat's voice was soft, broken as he received the call. "Anaya, can you really fight so hard for this relationship?" Anaya cried. "Anything for you. But you, can you fight society?" 2 seconds silence. Then Akshat said, "I can't just fight you. I can fight the whole world for you." Anaya's heart skipped a beat. "Can we meet?" Akshat asked. "Yes," she replied, "on the same road where you held my hand for the first time." The weather was the same that evening. Light rain, a wet road, and the same spot where Akshat had saved her from falling for the first time. Anaya slowly approached the roadside, her heart pounding. Then someone whispered, "Be careful, the road is slippery." She stopped. She looked back. Akshat was standing there. Raindrops were falling on his hair. But there was a strange gleam in his eyes. The fear had vanished. Anaya went to him. "Will we fight this battle together?" Akshat held her hand, and in that moment, they stood there, lost in each other's eyes. Suddenly, people began gathering on the road. Some took their photos. Others whispered, "Look, it's that old man. He must have seduced the girl. This relationship won't last." Akshat said. He slowly let go of Anaya's hand. He turned to the crowd. He spoke publicly for the first time. "Yes, I love her. I'm older than. What's wrong with that?" The crowd fell silent. Love requires courage, and if anyone thinks age is the enemy of love,